Marshall University kicked off 2008 with an economic boost to its research program thanks to legislation proposed by Governor Joe Manchin and subsequently approved by the West Virginia legislature. The Bucks for Brains program allocates $15 million to Marshall University, provided Marshall raises $15 million in matching funds. Vice President for Research Dr. John Marr applauded the governor's efforts during a January news conference in Charleston.
The availability of these funds, especially the provisions in the program whereby those funds could be leveraged through private investment, is really going to help Marshall take their research efforts to the next level by attracting and retaining world-class researchers at the university who will then be able to educate and also spawn new business enterprises through the intellectual property they develop.
The program is modeled after a similar one that has seen great success in Kentucky. In the spring of 2008, Marshall's new $2.5 million softball complex was dedicated. The Dot Hicks Field on 3rd Avenue has seating for more than 300 people and features a press box, concessions, restrooms, and batting cages. The Marshall University student body elected new leaders in spring 2008. Matt James and Sean Hornbuckle were elected president and vice president. The two, along with their cabinet members, were inaugurated during a ceremony in May.
The Great American Thunderfest made news in early June when Marshall University sponsored an event at a Cincinnati Reds game. President Stephen Kopp threw out the first pitch before the game, and one of the Marshall faithful was on hand to catch it.
And I was lucky, and I'm really happy that I was selected to, out of that glass bowl, my number came up and I got to catch the pitch and from Dr. Kopp, and that's certainly is a thrill, and be out there on the field and just be a part of whatever Marshall does. It's always a pleasure for me when something is positive happening for Marshall University.
Fun in the Sun wasn't the only bright spot for Marshall University during the summer of 2008. Academically, the school announced the formation of a doctoral program in nurse anesthesia. The program, which pairs a clinical degree with a business one, is the first of its kind in the United States. And in late summer, Marshall University's Joan C. Edwards Stadium was the backdrop for a visit from presidential candidate John McCain. McCain shared his prisoner of war story with players and then spoke briefly with reporters.
The great tragedy in 1970, obviously, and then, of course, it was all brought back to us with that wonderful film, which we see over and over again, I'm happy to say, on cable. I've seen it a couple of times, and so it's just a symbol to America.
The resurgence of the engineering program at Marshall University received a concrete boost in August when the Arthur Weisberg Family Engineering Laboratories were opened. Dean of the College of Information and Technology and Engineering, Dr. Betsy Doolin, said the $4.2 million facility was necessary to facilitate future accreditation.
Several years ago, with our new president, President Kopp, we were talking about the things we would need and kind of the limiting factors to getting the program accredited. And we decided we really were facilities limited and we needed to have some space. And I have to say, with amazing speed, this building was planned and the construction took place in a remarkably short amount of time in order to get us ready for that next year.
From a cutting-edge laboratory to a new residence hall, construction projects dominated the headlines in late 2008. 2 new residence halls were officially dedicated in August, offering a variety of amenities to freshmen. But the unusual aspect of this project is its financing. A private corporation, Capstone Development, actually owns the building and will run it for 30 years. Ownership then reverts to Marshall University.
It's a testament to the sheer determination and the will and the power of community and people coming together to get behind a vision for the future and what it can do for this community, this university, and all of us who benefit throughout the state from what we're creating here.
It didn't seem that long ago that the Drinko Library and Information Center was under construction, but the facility celebrated its 10-year anniversary in October. A repository for thousands of books, journals, and other primary sources, the library and its 24-hour study center is a gathering place for students engaged in the living learning process.
Marshall University School of Medicine researchers made international news in October with a study linking walnut consumption with diminished cancer growth in mice. Lead researcher Dr. Elaine Hardman said the study once again confirms that diet plays a significant role in health.
We're beginning to understand that your diet probably contributes to 1/3 to 2/3 of all cancers that develop, and making dietary changes could do more to reduce the deaths from cancer than all the chemotherapy we've done so far by preventing cancer.
Dr. Hardman and her team are continuing their research into the effects of diet and health. The final months of 2008 were exciting ones for the Marshall University community. Homecoming featured the return of Marshall graduate and CNN correspondent Joe Johns, who served as the weekend's Grand Marshal. And if one celebrity weren't enough for the weekend, there was another. Longtime Marshall mascot Marco unveiled his new look for the homecoming crowd. And finally, for the first time ever, Marshall University sponsored a December convocation. More than 200 students participated in the ceremony at the Keith Albee Performing Arts Center. Organizers say it was immensely successful and would become part of the university's tradition. For We Are Marshall Today, I'm Leah Edwards.